The internet is in complete chaos right now, because what started as a rumor whispered in the shadows of love and hip-hop circles has just exploded into one of the biggest scandals the show has ever seen. For years, fans argued, speculated, and dissected every glance, every post, and every cryptic line that hinted at something deeper between Mendeecees and Erica Mena. Both of them denied it, swearing that the past was the past and that no lines were ever crossed. But this week, a single shocking revelation has changed everything. A hidden truth that's been buried for years has finally clawed its way to the surface, and now, the question on everyone's mind is simple. Did Mendeecees really father Erica's baby? It began with an unexpected leak. Late one night, an anonymous source dropped what appeared to be private messages, photos, and even a paternity document that instantly set social media on fire. Within hours, hashtags like #Erica and Mendeecees and #LoveAndHipHop bombshell were trending across every platform. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. Was this just another wild rumor stirred up for attention, or was there finally proof behind what so many had quietly suspected? As the screenshots spread like wildfire, the silence from both Erica and Mendeecees only fueled the frenzy. The timing couldn't have been worse. Mendeecees had been working on rebuilding his family's trust after years of tension, and Erica was finally stepping away from the drama to focus on her peace. But peace was no longer an option. Sources close to the cast say that producers had known about the rumors for months, but never expected the story to explode like this. Everyone thought it was dead. One insider revealed they both moved on, started new lives, but now, all that history is coming back to haunt them. When the alleged paternity results surfaced, they didn't just reopen old wounds, they tore apart everything Mendeecees and Yandhi had rebuilt. Cameras reportedly started rolling again immediately to capture the fallout, because the network realized this was reality TV gold. And in true love and hip-hop fashion, it didn't take long for emotions to boil over. Erica was spotted outside a studio in Atlanta, visibly shaken, yelling into her phone as paparazzi surrounded her. When asked about the leak, she refused to comment but muttered something under her breath that fans quickly picked apart. They all knew the truth anyway. Within hours, fan pages began connecting dots, dates, locations, timelines, and what they found made the situation even more complicated. Because if the documents were real, then this secret had been kept for nearly a decade. That means lies, manipulation, and betrayal went far deeper than anyone ever imagined. And that's where the real drama begins. Behind the glamorous photos and staged smiles, a tangled web of deception was quietly spinning for years. Friendships were built on false trust, marriages were tested, and one secret baby might have been the key to it all. As producers scrambled to control the narrative, the question remains, who leaked the truth and why now? Because one thing's for sure, once this truth is out, there's no turning back. Under the low, uneasy light of Atlanta's nightlife, the tension between Erica Mena and Mendeecees Harris had become something the cameras could no longer ignore. Everything started quietly, with subtle glances that fans brushed off as harmless, professional chemistry. But as months turned into years, and their lives kept crossing paths in unexpected ways, people began to whisper. And now, after the leak that had sent the internet spiraling, those whispers had turned into full-blown accusations. What no one knew was that behind the scenes, the story wasn't as simple as a rumor. It was a chain reaction of buried emotions, lies, and a truth that both of them had tried desperately to bury. Mendeecees was sitting alone in his car outside his studio that night, staring at his phone screen as messages kept pouring in. Every outlet was covering it, every blog, every gossip page, every fan account. The headlines were brutal. Erica Mena's baby scandal resurfaces. DNA test reveals shocking truth. Yandhi breaks silence on Mendeecees' betrayal. He tried to call his publicist, but his hands were shaking too much to type. The truth was, there had been a single night years ago when boundaries had blurred. Erica had been heartbroken, angry, and vulnerable. Mendeecees had been in a rough place, too. That night wasn't supposed to mean anything. It was supposed to stay between them. But now it felt like every secret, every mistake, was being replayed for millions to judge. Across town, Erica was pacing her living room, the air thick with stress and the sound of her phone buzzing non-stop. "I didn't want this out," she said through tears to her friend Sapphire, who sat quietly on the couch, unsure of what to say. "I told him this would destroy everything. And now look at it, it's everywhere." Sapphire tried to calm her down, but Erica's voice rose. "They're acting like I made this up for clout. Do they really think I'd do that to myself? To my kids?" She grabbed her phone and scrolled through hundreds of messages, some supportive, most cruel. "Erica always lying," one comment said. Mendeecees would never cheat on Yandi again, another added. The hate was relentless, but the one thing that hurt her the most was Yandi's post that had gone up an hour earlier. It didn't mention names, but everyone knew who it was about. When people show you who they are, believe them. God don't bless no mess. Those 12 words were enough to send shockwaves through the fandom. Meanwhile, producers from Love and Hip Hop were scrambling to figure out how to handle the scandal. The network executives smelled ratings gold. This was the kind of chaos that sent viewership soaring. But for the cast, it was personal destruction playing out on camera. A meeting was called for the next day, closed doors. No filming, just the core cast and crew. When everyone arrived, the air was thick with awkward silence. Mendeecees sat on one end of the table, Yandi on the other, her arms crossed tightly, eyes fixed on her phone. Erica walked in last, wearing sunglasses even though it was indoors, her face unreadable. So we're really doing this here? She asked. You leaked this, didn't you? Yandi snapped. You think I would do that? Erica shot back. You think I'd ruin my own piece for this? Yandi leaned forward, her voice trembling. You ruined my piece a long time ago. The room went dead quiet. Mendeecees finally spoke, his voice low. This isn't the time or place. But no one listened. Outside the building, fans were already gathering, recording videos, shouting questions. One reporter yelled, Mendeecees, are you confirming the baby is yours? He didn't answer. He couldn't, because even he didn't know for sure. Years ago, when Erica had hinted that she might be pregnant, they'd had one conversation, short, emotional, and final. If you are, he'd said, I'll take responsibility. But please, don't bring this into the public. She'd gone silent for weeks after that, and when she finally reappeared, she told everyone the baby's father was someone else. And that was that. Until now. As the meeting dragged on, the tension broke when Yandi slammed her phone down. You lied to me, Mendeecees, she said, her voice cracking. You swore to me there was nothing between you two. I defended you. I defended your name, and now I have to find out like this. Mendeecees looked at her helplessly. It was a mistake, he said, one night. I didn't even think you didn't think. Yandi interrupted. You never think until it's too late. Tears filled her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Erica stood up, voice shaking but steady. I didn't ask for this. I was going through hell back then. I didn't even know what I wanted. And I never wanted to destroy your family. Yandi laughed bitterly. Well, congratulations. Because that's exactly what you did. The producers sat frozen. No one dared stop them. This wasn't just a storyline anymore. It was real pain, raw and unfiltered. When Erica stormed out, cameras followed her, even though she shouted, turn those off, but they didn't. They never do. Within hours, a leaked clip from that confrontation hit the internet, and fans went wild. This season is going to be insane, one fan tweeted. Another wrote, I knew it. Erica and Mendeecees had history. Thousands of comments flooded in, dissecting every frame. Some blamed Erica, some blamed Mendeecees, but most were fixated on one thing, the baby. If the DNA leak was real, everything they'd built, every image they'd maintained, was about to crumble. That night, Yandi went live on Instagram. She didn't say names, but her meaning was clear. You can lie to the world, she said softly, but God knows the truth. And eventually, it comes to light. The comments exploded with speculation. Is she talking about Erica? Mendeecees cheated again. This is crazy. Meanwhile, Erica posted a single sentence to her story. Truth always finds a way out. The digital war had begun. By the next morning, paparazzi surrounded Mendeecees' home. He tried to slip out quietly, but reporters caught him. Mendeecees, do you have anything to say about the DNA test? He didn't look up. I just want peace, he said, but peace was gone. Later that day, a new leak surfaced, an old voicemail from Mendeecees to Erica, recorded years ago. I don't know how to deal with this, his voice said. If it's true, I'll do what's right. Just don't tell nobody. That single recording reignited everything. Suddenly, every talk show, every gossip site, every influencer had something to say. He basically confessed. One podcast host said, that's guilt talking. But maybe he was just scared. Another argued, we don't know the full story. And that was the problem. No one did. Even Mendeecees himself was starting to question his own memories. Had he really moved past that night? Had he convinced himself it never happened? The guilt was eating at him. He tried calling Erica, but she didn't answer. Instead, she posted a cryptic tweet. Some truths destroy you before they set you free. It was shared over 10,000 times within the hour. Inside the Love and Hip Hop universe, alliances began to shift. Some of Erica's old friends turned their backs on her, afraid of being caught in the fallout. Others, like Safari, publicly defended her, saying, "People act like they saints. Everybody got skeletons." Yandi, meanwhile, stayed quiet, but insiders say she was preparing to make a move that would shock everyone. In private, Mendeecees met with his lawyer. "If this gets worse," the lawyer said, "we'll need to do a formal DNA test to end the speculation. But once that happens, there's no turning back. Whatever the result, it'll define you." Mendeecees rubbed his face. "I don't even care about the fame no more," he muttered. "I just want my family to stop hurting." But as he left the office, he didn't notice the paparazzi car following him. Within an hour, photos of him entering a DNA testing facility hit the internet. The caption read, "Confirmation, Mendeecees finally taking test." Fans lost their minds. So it's true. He wouldn't take the test if it wasn't. This season just wrote itself. And just like that, the story reached a point of no return. The truth, whatever it was finally coming in. No one was ready for what it would mean. The tension didn't ease after the DNA testing leak. If anything, it intensified. The following week, Atlanta felt like a pressure cooker. Every corner of social media consumed with speculation. Erica Mena stayed largely off camera, but when she did appear, her expressions told stories words couldn't capture. Fans noted the subtle changes: the furrowed brow, the distant stare, the way she avoided eye contact with anyone who asked about the baby. Each appearance added fuel to the fire, making people question, if she knew the truth, why act so composed? Meanwhile, Mendeecees Harris tried to maintain his calm, but the public pressure was relentless. Everywhere he went, cameras followed. Every interaction with Yandi leaked immediately online. The tension was palpable, like a storm waiting to break. Inside the network offices, producers were giddy, scheming ways to maximize the drama. A special taping was scheduled, bringing Erica, Mendeecees, Yandi, and other key cast members together. Even before filming, off-camera confrontations were heating up. One insider described the mood as electrified with anger, confusion, and betrayal. Nobody knew who would snap first. The first encounter was supposed to be casual, a check-in with cameras rolling quietly, but it didn't take long for emotions to explode. Erica approached Mendeecees, her voice low but firm. "You knew this would surface eventually, didn't you? That's why you stayed silent all these years." Mendeecees hesitated, caught off guard. "I didn't want anyone to get hurt," he said. Yandi, overhearing, cut in sharply. "Hurt? My family has been living in your lies while you've been pretending everything's fine." The air was thick with tension, and for a moment, silence reigned. Everyone knew the cameras were rolling, capturing every tremor of betrayal. Fans watching online noticed subtle gestures: the slight twitch of a hand, a fleeting glare, a whisper that almost escaped. It was raw, unedited drama, unlike anything previously seen on reality television. And then came the bombshell. A former friend of Erica's, who had been estranged from the cast for years, released a series of private messages to a popular gossip account. In these messages, she claimed to have witnessed key interactions between Erica and Mendeecees that hinted at a secret relationship. "I never wanted to get involved," one message read, "but the truth deserves to be told. People have the right to know what really happened." The posts went viral within minutes. The fan reactions were explosive, and hashtags like #Mendeecees baby drama and #Erica Mena truth trended globally. The mounting pressure finally led to a public confrontation. It was staged, yet felt entirely unscripted. Erica entered the room first, confident, though visibly trembling. Mendeecees followed, trying to maintain composure. Yandi entered last, her presence commanding, eyes blazing with a mix of anger and betrayal. Words flew. Accusations were hurled like missiles. "You destroyed everything we built," Yandi shouted. "Don't act innocent now." Erica's voice shook as she countered. "I didn't ask for any of this. It was never meant to be public." Mendeecees raised his hands, trying to calm the storm. "I take responsibility for my part. But please, let's handle this like adults." But the room was no longer about adults. It was about raw emotions, long-suppressed grievances, and the weight of years of secrets finally surfacing. Social media erupted. Memes, reaction videos, and clips of the confrontation flooded every platform. Every fan had an opinion. Some defended Erica, claiming she was a victim of circumstance. Others supported Yandi, criticizing Mendeecees for his deception. Commentary channels dissected every word, pause, and glare, creating a feedback loop of controversy that made the scandal even more intense. Every day, new leaks emerged: old texts, voicemail recordings, and screenshots that suggested conversations nobody outside the cast had ever seen. The digital world became a pressure chamber where every secret was magnified and every lie scrutinized. As the weeks progressed, tensions in real life mirrored the online chaos. Mendeecees reportedly moved into a temporary apartment, seeking refuge from the constant scrutiny. Yandi focused on her family, avoiding public appearances. Yet her statements, however brief, were picked apart and analyzed for hidden meanings. Erica began to rebuild her image cautiously, appearing at events with a guarded composure, aware that every smile, every gesture, could be turned into fodder for speculation. Meanwhile, the supposed paternity results remained unreleased, a calculated delay that kept fans in suspense. "They're playing with us," one fan tweeted. "They know the world is watching." The anticipation became almost unbearable. Tensions came to a head when Erica agreed to a one-on-one interview with a major entertainment outlet. The interview was intense, with every question circling back to the alleged paternity scandal. "I've lived my life in public," Erica said, her voice steady but tinged with exhaustion. "People think they know everything, but the truth is complicated. It never was about drama or attention. It was about survival, about making choices in a situation nobody understands fully." The interviewer pressed, "So Mendeecees is the father?" Erica paused, a deliberate silence that caused viewers to gasp. "I'm not ready to confirm anything publicly," she finally said. The ambiguity only fueled speculation further, and fans immediately flooded social media with theories, dissecting her every word. Additionally, tensions escalated when an anonymous insider claimed that Yandi had hired private investigators to look into the past, aiming to uncover every detail about the alleged relationship. The revelation shocked fans. "So she knew everything," one tweeted. "No wonder she was so quiet." Another added, "This is like a soap opera, but real." The narrative was growing more intricate by the day. Alliances shifted, friendships fractured, and the once clear lines between victim and instigator blurred into a chaotic swirl of suspicion, loyalty, and heartbreak. Even within the cast, loyalties were divided. Some members defended Mendeecees, arguing that mistakes happen and people grow. Others sided with Erica, believing that she had been unfairly silenced for years. Every meeting, every casual encounter became charged with unspoken tension. The cameras captured subtle moments, a lingering look, a stiff handshake, a whispered conversation, all of which were endlessly analyzed by fans and media alike. The pressure wasn't just external, it was internal, gnawing at every participant in ways that were as real as they were dramatic. As the first phase of the scandal unfolded, one thing became painfully clear. This wasn't a story that would end quickly. The leaked messages, the confrontations, the public scrutiny all had created a storm that showed no signs of abatement. Each day brought new revelations, and every revelation brought new questions. Mendeecees, Erica, and Yandi were trapped in a cycle of emotion, speculation, and media frenzy, knowing that every decision they made, every word they spoke, could shift the narrative dramatically. The stage was set for an even greater explosion of truth, secrets, and drama that would challenge everything the cast and the fans thought they knew. As the drama intensified, the lines between reality and spectacle blurred completely. The network decided to schedule a reunion special, promising to confront every accusation and reveal every hidden truth. It was the kind of event that fans live for, a collision of tempers, revelations, and raw emotion. The anticipation was unbearable. Social media was ablaze, with hashtags like hashtag Erica vs Mendeecees and hashtag YanDyReacts trending worldwide. Fans speculated about possible outcomes. Would Mendeecees admit everything? Would Erica finally confirm the paternity? Would Yandi leave? Or would she stay and fight? Nobody could predict the chaos that was about to unfold. Backstage, tensions were off the charts. Erica paced nervously, rehearsing the lines she might need but knowing that no amount of preparation could fully contain the emotions she'd feel once cameras started rolling. Mendeecees sat in a corner, his hands gripping the arms of his chair, silent but visibly anxious. Yandi remained poised, her expression unreadable. Yet insiders could tell she was bracing for a confrontation that might shatter the remaining trust in her marriage. Producers whispered about timing, camera angles, and which shots would best capture the reactions that would guarantee maximum engagement. It was orchestrated chaos, but everyone involved felt the weight of reality pressing down on them. The moment the cameras started rolling, the room transformed into a battlefield of words and glances. Erica spoke first, her voice steady but trembling. "I never wanted this to come out like this," she said, looking directly at Mendeecees. "I kept things private for years because I didn't want anyone to get hurt. But now, I see that the truth has a way of surfacing no matter how deeply it's buried." Mendeecees shifted uncomfortably, unable to meet her gaze. I've made mistakes, he finally admitted, but I never meant for anyone to be hurt, especially ya. I thought I could protect everyone by keeping things quiet, but clearly that backfired. Yandi's eyes flashed with a mixture of anger and disbelief. Protect? You call lying and hiding things protection? You call betrayal protection? She shouted, her voice echoing in the room. Fans watching the broadcast erupted. The commentary exploded online, each clip dissected and debated. He admitted it. One fan tweeted, "Yandi looks done." Another wrote, "Erica finally speaking her truth." Said a third. The reunion special was already breaking records before it even reached its climax. The tension kept rising as Erica leaned forward, her eyes locking onto Mendeecees. "You want the truth?" she asked. "I have nothing left to hide. Whatever the results say, it's been a burden I've carried alone for too long." Mendeecees swallowed hard, nodding slightly, the weight of years of secrets visibly pressing down on him. Then came the twist no one expected. A previously unreleased video surfaced from years ago, showing a private conversation between Erica and Mendeecees. In the clip, Mendeecees can be heard saying, "If it's true, I'll do my part. I promise." The words were deliberate, yet in the current context, they carried a heavy, undeniable implication. Fans were stunned. He basically admitted paternity years ago. One reaction video shouted, "So it's all real." The speculations skyrocketed, drawing even casual viewers into the frenzy. Every social media platform was flooded with commentary, memes, and theories about what this revelation meant for the future of all involved. The pressure on Yandi intensified as she attempted to maintain her composure. She gave a brief statement, her tone measured but sharp. "I've always believed in honesty and transparency. What people don't see is the pain caused behind closed doors. That's where the real story lives." Insiders reported that Yandi had been preparing for this moment for months, quietly gathering evidence, documents, and private messages that she hoped would clarify her perspective. It was clear she was determined not to be blindsided. But the emotional toll was evident in her fleeting glances and controlled breathing. As the reunion special continued, emotions ran high, and accusations flew. Erica confronted Mendeecees with questions that had been simmering for years. "Why now?" she demanded. "Why wait until this scandal breaks to face what you've known all along?" Mendeecees' response was hesitant. "I was scared," he admitted. "I didn't want to ruin anyone's life, and I thought keeping it private was best." Yandi interrupted sharply. "Best for who? Certainly not for me." The room erupted in tension, cameras capturing every sharp word, every subtle shift in posture, and every piercing stare. Outside the studio, fans gathered in anticipation, live streaming their reactions and analyzing every minute of footage. Memes went viral within seconds, and discussion threads exploded with theories about who was truly at fault. Influencers created reaction videos dissecting the smallest gestures, from the twitch of an eyebrow to the slight smirk during tense exchanges. The scandal had transformed from private heartbreak into global spectacle. Every character involved was being scrutinized, judged, and dissected by a voracious online audience, hungry for drama. Meanwhile, private conversations behind the scenes hinted at more drama yet to unfold. Insiders revealed that additional footage existed, including intimate messages between Erica and Mendeecees that had never been seen by the public. "There's more to come," one producer hinted. "This is only the tip of the iceberg." The revelation promised to sustain fan engagement for weeks, if not months, and the cast knew it. Every decision, every word, every glance had consequences, and the stakes were higher than ever. As the evening drew to a close, the emotional toll on all three was evident. Erica's voice shook with exhaustion, Mendeecees looked pale and drained, and Yandi remained steely but visibly tense. The reunion special ended without definitive answers, leaving viewers in suspense and fueling a firestorm of speculation. Fans flooded social media with reactions, demanding follow-ups, interviews, and clarifications. The drama had reached a new apex, and there was no telling how it would resolve her if it ever could. The world was watching, and the story was far from over. The emotional roller coaster of secrets, betrayals, and confessions had only just begun, promising twists, confrontations, and revelations that would continue to captivate fans across the globe. The stakes had never been higher, and every character involved knew that the coming weeks could change everything forever. The days following the reunion special were marked by relentless chaos. As if the world itself had been caught in the aftermath of an emotional earthquake, social media was in meltdown mode, with fans replaying clips, dissecting body language, and sharing theories faster than any cast member could respond. Mendeecees tried to retreat from the public eye, but the pressure was suffocating. Wherever he went, paparazzi cameras and microphones followed, capturing every movement, every glance, every subtle sign of guilt or remorse. Even a simple coffee run became front-page news. Erica Mena, meanwhile, remained a focal point of speculation. She appeared at events with a calculated composure. But those closest to her noticed the tension in her eyes, the slight tremor in her hands. Friends described her as a mixture of exhaustion and determination, aware that her every move was being scrutinized. "She's holding it together for now," one insider said, "but you can see the weight of this secret pressing down on her. It's only a matter of time before she either cracks or takes control of the narrative herself." And she was already taking control, in subtle ways: cryptic posts on social media, carefully timed interviews, and brief statements that hinted at the truth without fully confirming it. Yandy, on the other hand, remained guarded but strategic. She understood the power of perception and used silence as a weapon. She rarely appeared publicly, but when she did, her presence alone sent a message. Insiders revealed that she had been compiling her own evidence, collecting texts, screenshots, and even witness accounts, preparing for a moment when she could confront both Mendeecees and Erica directly. "She's waiting for the perfect moment," a source said. "When she speaks, it's going to be explosive. Everyone knows it, and even the producers are on edge." The media frenzy was relentless. Entertainment outlets, gossip blogs, and fan pages continuously reported on every hint of activity. From leaked messages to late-night sightings, the alleged paternity scandal dominated headlines, with every possible angle explored. Analysts debated motives, character, and morality, while fans speculated on hidden layers of betrayal. "This isn't just a scandal," one popular blogger wrote. "It's a saga, a story of secrets, deception, and human emotion that rivals any scripted drama." Every new leak, every rumor, and every subtle interaction between the three main players sent shockwaves through the fanbase, keeping engagement at an all-time high. Inside the cast, tensions escalated as alliances shifted. Some former friends of Erica came forward to defend her, providing accounts that painted Mendeecees in a questionable light. Others, loyal to Yandy, scrutinized Erica's every statement, questioning her motives and truthfulness. The divide was stark, creating factions among both cast members and fans alike. The network, sensing an opportunity for even higher ratings, encouraged strategic confrontations, carefully orchestrated to maintain suspense without crossing into legal peril. It was a delicate balance between real emotion and calculated entertainment. The anticipation reached new heights when reports surfaced that additional DNA test results had been obtained. Insiders claimed the results confirmed suspicions that had been whispered for years. Mendeecees was indeed the father of Erica's baby. However, the timing of the public reveal was being meticulously controlled, allowing the drama to escalate further. The cast prepared for a special announcement that promised to finally address the lingering questions and provide clarity, or at least as much clarity as the situation would allow. Preparations for the announcement created a powder keg of emotions. Erica and Mendeecees were reportedly meeting daily with producers to strategize, while Yandy was said to be considering her response carefully. Emotions ran high behind closed doors, with tempers flaring, tears shed, and arguments erupting over minor details. One insider described the atmosphere as a storm contained in a room too small, with everyone knowing that once it breaks, there's no going back. The stakes were monumental, and every decision had the potential to alter relationships, reputations, and public perception permanently. On the day of the announcement, the atmosphere was electric. Cameras were positioned strategically, ensuring that every expression, every word, and every subtle reaction would be captured. Erica, dressed carefully to convey composure, arrived early, rehearsing potential responses but knowing that genuine emotion couldn't be scripted. Mendeecees appeared tense, silent for long stretches, while Yandy's presence was calm yet intimidating, a reminder that she held power in restraint. The room was a crucible of anticipation, with producers, crew, and cast aware that the next few hours would define the narrative for months to come. When the cameras finally rolled, the air was charged. Erica began speaking, her voice measured yet firm. "I've carried this secret for too long," she admitted. "The truth has a way of finding its way out, and now, it's time to face it." Mendeecees shifted uncomfortably, eyes lowered, hands clasped tightly. "I accept responsibility," he said quietly, his voice betraying a mix of remorse and fear. Yandy's expression hardened, a mixture of disbelief and anger barely contained. The tension was unbearable, and viewers across the world felt it in every frame. As the revelation unfolded, the emotional stakes continued to climb. Erika confirmed that Mendeecees was the father, and the room erupted in a mixture of shock, tears, and whispered conversations. Yandi struggled to maintain composure, but her voice trembled as she addressed both Erika and Mendeecees. "This changes everything," she said. "Everything I believed, everything I fought for, it's all different now." The cameras captured every moment, ensuring that the drama would be dissected endlessly by fans and analysts alike. In the hours following the announcement, the fallout was immediate. Social media exploded, with fan reactions ranging from support to outrage. Memes, reaction videos, and debates flooded platforms, keeping the story at the forefront of public consciousness. Entertainment outlets scrambled to provide coverage, and the narrative continued to evolve with each passing hour. Alliances shifted, loyalties were questioned, and the emotional roller coaster showed no signs of slowing. The story had reached a new level of intensity, and everyone involved knew that the next chapter would be even more explosive. Behind the scenes, the personal toll on all parties involved was immense. Mendeecees reportedly struggled with guilt and exhaustion. Erika faced the weight of public scrutiny, and Yandi grappled with betrayal and anger. Even the production team felt the pressure, aware that the events they were documenting were as real as they were dramatic. The line between reality and performance blurred completely, creating a situation where every word, gesture, and glance carried monumental significance. As the dust began to settle, one thing was certain: the scandal was far from over. The revelation of paternity had set off a chain reaction that would continue to reverberate through the cast, their families, and the global audience. Every moment that followed would be scrutinized, analyzed, and debated. The stage was set for further confrontations, unexpected twists, and dramatic resolutions that would keep fans captivated for months. The story had only just reached the beginning of its most intense chapter. The aftermath of the paternity revelation plunged everyone into a whirlwind of emotion and speculation. Overnight, the dynamics between Erika, Mendeecees, and Yandi shifted dramatically, leaving no one unaffected. Erika, once cautious and measured, began navigating a new reality where the world was watching her every move. Every public appearance, every social media post, every interview became a statement, intentional or not. Fans dissected her gestures, her tone, and even her outfit choices, interpreting every detail as a clue to her inner state. Insiders described her as walking a tightrope between composure and release, aware that any misstep could ignite further controversy. Mendeecees, meanwhile, was under relentless pressure. His attempts at privacy were consistently thwarted by paparazzi, fan speculation, and media scrutiny. Even his closest friends admitted that the weight of the situation was visible in his posture and demeanor. Behind closed doors, he grappled with guilt, regret, and uncertainty, constantly questioning past choices and their cascading consequences. "He's a man trying to hold himself together while the world judges every word," an insider said. "It's a lot to handle, especially when the truth was hidden for so long." The juxtaposition of his public image and private turmoil made for a complex narrative that fueled endless discussion among viewers. Yandi's role in the unfolding drama became increasingly pivotal. Publicly, she maintained a composed exterior, but those close to her revealed that, internally, she was strategizing, reflecting, and emotionally processing. Friends reported that she spent hours reviewing messages, preparing statements, and evaluating how best to navigate both the media and personal relationships. Her influence over the narrative was subtle but significant. The mere presence of her voice or statement could alter public perception, and she wielded that power carefully. Fans speculated endlessly: would she confront Mendeecees? Would she forgive? Or would she take actions that no one anticipated? The tension created anticipation for every potential interaction. As the weeks continued, the network capitalized on the ongoing frenzy. New episodes were released highlighting private confrontations, discussions, and confessions that had been filmed months prior but strategically timed for maximum impact. The pacing was deliberate, each segment designed to reveal just enough to keep fans engaged, yet leave room for speculation and debate. One particularly dramatic scene showed Erika and Mendeecees in a tense discussion about the future, with Erika demanding accountability and Mendeecees attempting to explain his perspective. The scene was raw, emotional, and compelling, prompting countless reaction videos and social media commentary. Additionally, leaked private communications further stoked the fire. Text messages between Erika and Mendeecees revealed moments of emotional intimacy, moments of conflict, and attempts at resolution. These leaks provided fans with a voyeuristic glimpse into the private dynamics of their relationship, intensifying debates about morality, responsibility, and the human capacity for mistakes. Every new detail fueled the narrative, driving engagement and speculation to unprecedented levels. Social media became a battlefield of opinion, where fan loyalties clashed, theories proliferated, and discussions about trust, betrayal, and forgiveness dominated conversations. The emotional stakes escalated during a series of face-to-face encounters orchestrated by the network. Erica confronted Mendeecees about past decisions, expressing frustration at years of secrecy and the emotional toll it had taken. Mendeecees, visibly distressed, attempted to explain his actions, acknowledging mistakes and expressing regret. Yandi observed these exchanges closely, her demeanor calm yet visibly tense. The interactions were charged with emotion, highlighting the complexity of human relationships and the lingering impact of past actions. The cameras captured every nuance, every hesitated word, and every subtle reaction, amplifying the drama for the audience. Outside of the studio, fan engagement reached a fever pitch. Forums, live streams, and social media platforms were flooded with analysis, speculation, and heated debate. Fan theories proliferated, dissecting motives, timelines, and personal dynamics. Each revelation prompted waves of discussion, and even minor details were interpreted as signs of deeper truths. Influencers, bloggers, and reaction channels amplified the narrative, adding layers of interpretation and insight that kept the story alive and evolving. The global fascination with the scandal demonstrated the powerful intersection of reality television, human emotion, and social media amplification. Meanwhile, the personal toll on the main players was undeniable. Erica navigated the dual pressures of public scrutiny and private reflection, attempting to maintain equilibrium while processing years of emotional complexity. Mendeecees grappled with regret, accountability, and the challenge of restoring trust in the wake of revelations. Yandi balanced composure with emotional intensity, navigating both personal feelings and public perception. The overlapping pressures created a volatile environment, where every conversation, every glance, and every decision carried weighty consequences. As the story progressed, the network continued to shape the narrative for dramatic effect. Strategic releases of footage, interviews, and behind-the-scenes content maintained suspense while allowing for character development and emotional depth. Fans were treated to a multi-layered experience, observing raw emotions, complex relationships, and evolving dynamics. Each segment reinforced the ongoing tension, highlighting the human consequences of secrets and the inevitable collision between truth and perception. In the midst of this chaos, speculation about future developments surged. Viewers wondered how the cast would navigate upcoming interactions, whether reconciliation or further conflict would dominate, and how public perception would influence personal decisions. The unfolding narrative, driven by emotion, revelation, and strategic timing, created a powerful, continuous cycle of engagement. The story of Erica Mendeecees and Yandi evolved beyond a simple scandal, becoming a complex exploration of human behavior, accountability, and the consequences of long-hidden truths. Even as time passed, the resonance of the scandal remained. Every public appearance, social media post, and interview was measured against the backdrop of the paternity revelation, sustaining engagement and keeping fans invested. The unfolding events demonstrated that in reality television, the lines between performance and reality are often blurred, and that the emotional stakes betrayal, loyalty, accountability resonate far beyond the immediate narrative. For Erica Mendeecees and Yandi, the story was far from over, with new twists, confrontations, and revelations waiting just around the corner. The intensity of the scandal reached new heights as Erica, Mendeecees, and Yandi faced increasingly public scrutiny. Rumors circulated that private conversations had been secretly recorded, adding fuel to an already raging fire. Insiders hinted that explosive footage existed, capturing moments that could drastically alter public perception. Fans speculated endlessly about what might be revealed next, dissecting every subtle facial expression and every carefully chosen word from prior appearances. Anticipation for the next public confrontation became almost unbearable. With hashtags trending worldwide and fan theories multiplying by the hour, the dynamics between the trio were constantly shifting. Erica oscillated between moments of vulnerability and fierce self-assertion, aware that any perceived weakness could be interpreted as guilt or complicity. Mendeecees struggled with the weight of past decisions, his attempts at reconciliation and explanation often falling short against the relentless scrutiny of fans and media. Yandi, ever composed outwardly, appeared to be strategizing behind the scenes, carefully monitoring every interaction and weighing her next move. Insiders described the atmosphere as a high-stakes chess game where every glance, word, and pause matters. As the weeks unfolded, leaks of private texts and emails emerged, some dating back years, suggesting a long history of secrecy, miscommunication, and emotional conflict. These revelations gave fans an unprecedented look at the intricate dynamics that had shaped the relationships, intensifying debates about accountability, morality, and trust. Clips from these messages were shared widely, dissected in reaction videos, and analyzed frame by frame, creating a perpetual cycle of speculation and discussion. The narrative had become a living entity, constantly evolving as new pieces of information surfaced. A particularly explosive moment occurred during a special live event where Erica and Mendeecees faced off in a moderated discussion. Emotions ran high from the outset, with Erica confronting Mendeecees about the emotional toll of years of silence. "You knew all along," she said, voice trembling with restrained anger. "Why did you let me carry this burden alone?" Mendeecees responded, his voice tight with regret. "I thought I was protecting everyone, but I see now that I failed. I was wrong." Yandy interjected, her tone sharp and unwavering. "Protecting? This isn't protection. This is betrayal." The live audience reacted audibly, and viewers online instantly began dissecting every exchange. The fallout from that live event was immediate. Social media exploded with debates, memes, and commentary. Fans formed factions, some sympathizing with Erica, others defending Mendeecees, and many supporting Yandy's stance. Reaction videos multiplied, and every minor gesture or word was scrutinized for hidden meaning. The scandal had transcended typical reality TV drama, becoming a global phenomenon where fan engagement dictated the narrative. Every leaked message, every live moment, and every social media post became fodder for ongoing discussion. Behind the scenes, the emotional toll on the trio was profound. Erica reportedly experienced sleepless nights and heightened anxiety, aware that the public's gaze was unrelenting. Mendeecees struggled with guilt and the challenge of rebuilding trust, while Yandy was said to be managing a complex mix of anger, disappointment, and strategic foresight. Private meetings, long phone calls, and careful planning sessions dominated their days, all aimed at navigating a scandal that had taken on a life of its own. The network continued to capitalize on the drama, strategically releasing footage that revealed both raw emotion and subtle manipulations of narrative. Producers orchestrated moments of tension, carefully positioning cast members and directing camera angles to maximize impact. Fans responded eagerly, sharing every new clip and generating further discussion. The story's complexity deepened, with every revelation raising new questions about the past, the present, and the possible future of all involved. Amidst the ongoing chaos, new revelations surfaced suggesting that additional family members and friends had been silently aware of parts of the secret. Their reactions, some supportive, some condemning, added layers of complexity to the story. Insiders revealed that private confrontations between family members had been tense and, at times, explosive, though these moments were never fully captured on camera. The anticipation for their eventual public disclosure became another point of fascination for viewers. The emotional landscape continued to evolve, with moments of tentative reconciliation interspersed with intense confrontations. Erica and Mendeecees attempted private conversations, seeking understanding, yet lingering resentment and mistrust complicated every interaction. Yandy remained vigilant, carefully choosing when to engage and when to observe, ensuring that her responses maintained both personal dignity and strategic impact. The drama was relentless, with each encounter rippling through both public perception and private emotional realities. As the scandal progressed, it became increasingly clear that the story was far from over. Fans, media outlets, and insiders alike acknowledged that more twists, revelations, and confrontations were inevitable. The saga had grown into a complex narrative of betrayal, accountability, and emotional reckoning, captivating audiences worldwide. With each passing day, the relationships between Erica, Mendeecees, and Yandy continued to shift, ensuring that the story would remain compelling, unpredictable, and highly engaging for the foreseeable future. The following weeks brought an escalation that no one could have anticipated. The network announced a multi-part special, promising to reveal never-before-seen footage and private conversations that would shed more light on the tangled web of relationships. Fans across the globe were on edge, refreshing feeds, sharing theories, and speculating about what the next revelations would mean for Erica, Mendeecees, and Yandi. Anticipation was almost unbearable, and insiders revealed that even cast members were on edge, bracing for confrontations that had been brewing for years. The first taping of the special was tense beyond measure. Erica arrived early, reviewing her statements, rehearsing responses, yet knowing that raw emotion could not be scripted. Mendeecees appeared subdued, a far cry from his usual confidence, reflecting the emotional weight of public exposure. Yandi maintained her signature composure, but those close to her noted subtle signs of tension: a quickened pulse, a tight grip on her notes, fleeting glances that betrayed worry. The room was electric, charged with the knowledge that every word, every gesture, every silence would be dissected by millions. As filming began, the first confrontation unfolded. Erica addressed Mendeecees directly, her voice steady but filled with barely contained emotion. "You let this drag on for so long," she said, "forcing me to navigate years of uncertainty while pretending everything was fine." Mendeecees swallowed hard, voice low but earnest. "I thought I was protecting everyone," he admitted, "but I see now that my silence caused more pain than it prevented." Yandi's response was sharp, a mixture of hurt and incredulity. "Protecting? That's not protection. That's deception. Years of it." The cameras captured every word, every pause, every flicker of emotion, allowing viewers to feel the tension as if they were in the room themselves. After this heated exchange, the production team revealed previously unseen texts and messages that suggested a long history of clandestine communication between Erica and Mendeecees. These messages portrayed moments of connection, conflict, and secrecy, fueling the narrative that their relationship had been far more complex than previously acknowledged. Fans pored over the messages online, dissecting every word, creating a frenzy of interpretation and speculation. Hashtags exploded on social media, driving the story to unprecedented levels of engagement. The tension escalated further when a surprise guest appeared, a former friend and insider who claimed to have knowledge of events that had never been publicly disclosed. This individual revealed that the paternity question had been a source of private conflict for years, with discussions, arguments, and reconciliations happening off-camera. The disclosure added layers to the narrative, suggesting that the emotional stakes were even higher than viewers realized. Reactions were immediate and intense, with social media erupting in disbelief, support, and outrage simultaneously. Meanwhile, backstage, emotions ran high. Erica and Mendeecees held a private discussion, attempting to navigate accountability, regret, and the implications of public exposure. Yandi, observing from a distance, weighed her next moves, considering both personal and strategic implications. Tension, anticipation, and exhaustion coexisted in a delicate balance, creating an environment where any interaction could ignite further drama. Insiders described the atmosphere as volatile and raw, a perfect storm of human emotion captured on film. The narrative continued to twist with unexpected revelations. Private video clips surfaced, showing intimate but tense interactions that hinted at deeper relational complexities. These clips suggested that decisions made years ago had long-lasting consequences, and that the emotional fallout extended beyond the immediate trio. Fans reacted with shock, empathy, and analysis, debating motives, intentions, and the human capacity for forgiveness and understanding. The storyline evolved into a rich tapestry of emotion, secrecy, and human drama that kept audiences riveted. As the special progressed, a climactic confrontation emerged. Erica directly confronted Mendeecees about decisions made in secrecy, while Yandi interjected with pointed questions about accountability and transparency. Voices rose, emotions flared, and the atmosphere became electric. Every eye contact, every hand gesture, and every intonation was magnified on camera, ensuring that viewers felt the weight of the drama as if they were present in the room. Reaction videos proliferated, fan forums exploded with discussion, and hashtags soared, cementing the scandal as a cultural phenomenon. In the wake of this confrontation, the emotional and public fallout was immediate. Social media users dissected each moment, while entertainment outlets provided 24/7 coverage. Memes, threads, and video reactions flooded platforms, reflecting the global fascination with the drama. Public perception was divided, with supporters and critics of each party voicing impassioned arguments. Insiders reported that even friends and family were affected, as the public spectacle amplified existing tensions and brought private conflicts into full view. The special concluded without definitive resolution, leaving the audience in suspense and heightening anticipation for the next episode. The unresolved questions, lingering emotions, and public spectacle ensured that the story would continue to dominate headlines, discussions, and social media engagement. Viewers were left to speculate, theorize, and emotionally invest in the unfolding drama, anticipating further revelations, confrontations, and emotional reckonings that promised to shape the narrative for weeks to come. As this phase of the saga came to a close, the weight of the scandal on Erica Mendeecees and Yandhi was undeniable. Each decision, each interaction, and each public appearance carried consequences that rippled through their personal lives and the public consciousness. The story had grown into a multi-layered narrative of secrecy, accountability, and human emotion, captivating audiences worldwide and demonstrating the enduring power of reality television to reveal both the raw and complex nature of human relationships. The weeks that followed the reunion special and the subsequent multi-part events were some of the most turbulent in the lives of Erica, Mendeecees, and Yandhi. The revelation of Mendeecees' paternity of Erica's baby had unleashed a chain reaction that seemed impossible to contain. Every day brought new leaks, fresh speculation, and endless commentary from fans, insiders, and media outlets alike. The personal stakes had become so intertwined with public perception that the trio's lives felt less like reality and more like a living drama series, each scene orchestrated by circumstances far beyond their control. The anticipation of what would come next was unbearable, and everyone involved knew the story had reached a point of no return. Erica found herself navigating a constant balancing act between vulnerability and composure. Every social media post, every interview, every appearance was meticulously analyzed by fans and commentators. Insiders reported that she spent hours crafting statements, revising them multiple times, trying to convey the truth while maintaining a degree of dignity and privacy. Yet even her most carefully worded messages were dissected, with fans speculating about hidden meanings and intentions. She had become both the central character in a global narrative and a target of relentless scrutiny, forced to relive moments of past pain while grappling with the emotional toll of public exposure. Mendeecees' life had been upended entirely. What had once been private decisions and private regrets were now public spectacle. Every movement, every facial expression, every pause was under observation, as if the world had the power to judge him in real time. Friends and family reported that he had become withdrawn at times, struggling with guilt and the weight of years of secrecy. Yet the obligation to face the public, to clarify and reconcile, kept him tethered to the spotlight. Interviews, appearances, and carefully orchestrated social media statements became his tools for navigating the storm, but they could not entirely shield him from the emotional fallout that followed every new revelation. Yandhi, who had maintained an outwardly composed demeanor, emerged as an equally pivotal force in this evolving narrative. Those close to her reported that she had been quietly compiling evidence, preparing herself for moments of confrontation, and carefully considering her responses. She understood the power of timing, tone, and subtlety, and she wielded that power with precision. While publicly she appeared calm and measured, insiders revealed that she experienced moments of profound emotional strain, forced to process betrayal, disappointment, and the implications of revelations that affected both her personal and professional life. As the social media frenzy continued, fans became active participants in the drama. Every post, every clip, every leaked message was analyzed, dissected, and debated. Live streams erupted with theories about what had been said, what had been withheld, and what could happen next. Reaction videos exploded in popularity, with commentators providing analysis, breakdowns, and conjecture. Hashtags like #EricaTruth, #Mendeecees and #YanDyReaction trended worldwide, turning the scandal into a cultural phenomenon. The global audience had become an extension of the drama itself, contributing to the pressure and keeping the story alive, day after day. Amidst this chaos, private conversations among the trio revealed emotional intensity that was sometimes almost unbearable. Erica and Mendeecees attempted to navigate reconciliation, yet trust was fragile, and past betrayals loomed over every interaction. Yandhi, meanwhile, monitored the evolving dynamics, deciding when and how to intervene, if at all. The emotional stakes were immense, with each conversation potentially altering public perception, shifting loyalties, and impacting personal relationships. Insiders described the environment as a constant tension, like walking on a tightrope over a chasm of emotion and public scrutiny. Compounding the tension were the leaked communications, which included texts, emails, and private messages that provided glimpses into a long history of conflict, miscommunication, and secrecy. These messages revealed moments of emotional vulnerability, moments of anger, and attempts at reconciliation. They painted a picture of relationships far more complex than the public had imagined, highlighting the human struggle with mistakes, forgiveness, and understanding. Fans, privy to these intimate glimpses, debated motives, judged actions, and dissected every nuance, transforming the scandal into a psychological and emotional puzzle that demanded interpretation. Then came another unexpected twist. An anonymous insider, claiming to have knowledge of even deeper layers of the story, leaked what was said to be a conversation between Mendeecees and a family member. In this exchange, Mendeecees admitted to fears of judgment, a desire to shield Erica and Yandi, and a recognition of mistakes that had reverberated for years. The public was captivated, with media outlets dissecting every word and fans speculating on the implications. The revelation added another layer to the narrative, suggesting that even beyond the immediate conflict, there were multiple levels of emotional complexity that had yet to be fully explored. As the weeks progressed, a special live event was announced, promising to address lingering questions and offer unprecedented insight into the trio's emotions and decisions. The anticipation reached a fever pitch, with fans speculating on potential confrontations, apologies, or reconciliations. Behind the scenes, the tension was palpable. Erica rehearsed her statements, ensuring they balanced truth, accountability, and composure. Mendeecees grappled with both guilt and anticipation, knowing that public exposure would intensify the emotional stakes. Yandi carefully monitored every development, aware that her response could influence both the narrative and her personal sense of justice. When the live event began, emotions erupted immediately. Erica spoke first, acknowledging the pain caused by years of secrecy and highlighting the importance of accountability. "This has been a burden I carried alone," she admitted, her voice firm but tinged with vulnerability. "Now, the truth is out, and it cannot be undone." Mendeecees responded, voice low and remorseful, "I made choices I regret, and I cannot take back the hurt I've caused. But I want to face it, to own it, and to do what is right." Yandi's interjection was precise, measured, but full of intensity. Doing what is right isn't about statements or appearances. It's about truth, transparency, and accountability. Actions, not words, are what matter. The audience, both live and virtual, reacted instantly, with social media erupting in debate, analysis, and speculation. Following this heated exchange, more private footage was released, depicting moments of vulnerability, tension, and conflict that had never been publicly aired. The clips revealed Erica and Mendeecees navigating reconciliation attempts, while Yandi evaluated each situation with careful attention. The intensity of the emotions, combined with the strategic orchestration of the footage, created a scenario where every detail mattered, from subtle gestures to tone shifts. Fans were captivated, analyzing every frame, and the story continued to evolve with each new revelation. The emotional impact extended beyond the trio. Family members, friends, and former associates were drawn into the drama, their loyalties tested, and their perspectives scrutinized. Heated confrontations occurred off-camera, and insiders hinted at more explosive material yet to be revealed. The narrative had become an intricate web of relationships, secrets, and public perception, with the potential to redefine reputations, alliances, and personal trajectories. Throughout this period, the psychological toll on Erica Mendeecees and Yandi was immense. Sleepless nights, emotional strain, and constant public scrutiny created an environment of relentless pressure. Yet, amidst the turmoil, moments of human vulnerability shone through. Tears, hesitant admissions, and fleeting gestures of reconciliation reminded viewers that behind the spectacle were real people grappling with real emotions. Fans and critics alike were drawn to this complexity, sustaining engagement and anticipation for every new episode, statement, or leak. The saga reached a critical point when a final revelation suggested that even the most intricate secrets had long-lasting ramifications. A new video surfaced showing Mendeecees in a private discussion, expressing fears, regret, and hopes for repair, providing a perspective that had never been publicly considered. This revelation shifted public sentiment, with some fans offering empathy, others demanding accountability, and all debating the moral and emotional implications. The story had evolved into a nuanced exploration of human relationships, deception, and the consequences of hidden truths. As the weeks turned into months, the narrative showed no signs of slowing. Each public appearance, each social media post, each media interview contributed to the ever-expanding story, keeping fans engaged and emotionally invested. The interplay between personal accountability, public perception, and the enduring impact of secrecy created a drama that was both compelling and unpredictable. The emotional rollercoaster of Erica Mendeecees and Yandy had transformed into a saga that captivated a global audience, demonstrating the enduring power of human emotion, vulnerability, and the intricate complexities of trust and betrayal. Even as the dust settled temporarily, everyone involved understood that the saga was far from over. The narrative continued to evolve, shaped by past actions, emerging revelations, and ongoing emotional reckonings. The world was watching, opinions were forming, and the story remained alive, vibrant, and capable of producing further shocks, reconciliations, and confrontations. For Erica Mendeecees and Yandy, the journey had transformed their lives irrevocably, ensuring that every subsequent interaction, revelation, and emotional decision would carry significance both personally and publicly. The global fascination with the scandal underscored a universal truth: secrets have consequences. And revelations, no matter how delayed, can ripple across lives, relationships, and reputations in profound ways. The story of Erica and Yandy had become a living narrative of human emotion, accountability, and the tangled web of relationships that define our lives, captivating audiences and ensuring that the drama would remain a topic of conversation, speculation, and engagement for the foreseeable future. The weeks following the explosive live events continued to spiral into an emotional maelstrom. Erica, Mendeecees, and Yandy were at the center of a storm they could neither escape nor control. Every move they made, every word they spoke, became part of an intricate narrative that captivated audiences worldwide. The revelation of paternity had not only reshaped their personal dynamics, but had also thrown their entire social and professional circles into upheaval. Friends, family, and fans became entangled in the drama, each reaction amplifying the tension and making it impossible for the trio to return to any sense of normalcy. Erica's life became a study in resilience and public strategy. She was constantly under the microscope, her expressions, gestures, and tone analyzed in real time. Insiders reported that she spent hours reviewing footage, messages, and posts, carefully calculating how each interaction might be perceived. Every public appearance was a balancing act between vulnerability and composure, between honesty and discretion. She understood that her credibility depended on her ability to convey authenticity. Yet the emotional toll of reliving years of secrecy weighed heavily on her. Friends close to Erica described her as exhausted but determined, a woman who had learned that control over her narrative was her only refuge in the chaos. Mendeecees, too, faced unprecedented pressure. The revelation of paternity had cast a shadow over his public image, and every step he took was scrutinized. Insiders revealed that he struggled with regret and the challenge of restoring trust not only with Erica and Yandy, but also with the public that had watched his life unfold over the years. Interviews, social media statements, and appearances became exercises in damage control. Yet they could never fully shield him from the scrutiny of fans and the media. Those close to him noted a marked shift in his demeanor, a somberness that reflected the weight of accountability and the relentless nature of public judgment. Yandy remained the enigmatic center of the storm, wielding control with quiet precision. Though outwardly composed, she was intensely strategic, carefully observing interactions, analyzing motives, and determining when and how to intervene. Insiders described her approach as meticulous, noting that she was compiling evidence, reviewing past events, and planning her next move with a calculated patience. Her presence exerted a constant influence over the dynamics between Erica and Mendeecees, creating a tense equilibrium that kept viewers on edge and fans speculating endlessly. As the media coverage intensified, fans became increasingly involved, shaping the narrative in real time. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions, analysis, and theories. Hashtags proliferated, reaction videos exploded in popularity, and live streams dissected every word and gesture. The audience had effectively become a participant in the drama, amplifying the pressure on the trio while simultaneously sustaining the story's momentum. Each leak, each interview, each new piece of footage fueled a cycle of engagement that kept the scandal at the forefront of public attention. One of the most pivotal moments occurred during a private confrontation orchestrated by the production team but unseen by the public at the time. Erica confronted Mendeecees about years of secrecy, frustration evident in her voice and gestures. "You let me carry this alone for too long," she said, eyes flashing with intensity. "You made choices that affected my life, our child's life, and you never once considered the fallout." Mendeecees responded with remorse, his voice low but earnest. "I thought I was protecting you, Yandy, and myself. But I see now that my silence caused more pain than it prevented. Yandi's presence was commanding, yet restrained, a silent reminder of the accountability that hung over the room. The intensity of the interaction, though private, would later influence the public narrative when portions of footage and testimony were released strategically. The story took another twist when additional insiders came forward, providing context that complicated the narrative further. Text messages, emails, and personal accounts suggested that the paternity issue had been a long-standing point of tension, with multiple attempts at reconciliation and multiple failures to communicate openly. These revelations painted the relationships as far more intricate than the public had perceived, highlighting human frailty, conflicting motives, and the enduring impact of secrecy. Fans debated motivations, analyzed behaviors, and questioned loyalties, turning the saga into a psychological and social spectacle. As anticipation for the next public reveal grew, the trio navigated their own private struggles. Erica experienced moments of vulnerability, shedding tears in private and questioning whether the emotional exposure was worth the ongoing scrutiny. Mendeecees wrestled with guilt, remorse, and the need for redemption, struggling to reconcile his public persona with his private reality. Yandi maintained a calculated distance, observing and preparing, recognizing that her responses could influence both personal relationships and public perception. The interplay of emotions, strategy, and accountability created a tense environment that was both exhausting and volatile. When the next public event occurred, the atmosphere was electric. Cameras captured every subtle shift in tone, every glance, every gesture. Erica began by acknowledging the pain of past secrecy, speaking with a blend of vulnerability and resolve. "I've carried the weight of this secret for too long," she admitted, "and it's time to confront it fully." Mendeecees followed, his voice tinged with remorse and sincerity. "I accept responsibility for my actions and for the pain they caused," he said. Yandi interjected, measured but intense. "Responsibility is more than words. It's transparency, honesty, and accountability. Actions must align with intention." The audience, both live and virtual, reacted instantly, generating waves of discussion, debate, and analysis. Following this confrontation, previously unseen footage and private communications were released, revealing moments of tension, reconciliation attempts, and emotional complexity. Fans were captivated, dissecting every exchange, gesture, and intonation. Reaction videos proliferated, theories flourished, and debates intensified, sustaining engagement and keeping the narrative alive. The emotional stakes were heightened by the realization that the story was far from linear. Every revelation introduced new layers of complexity and nuance. Beyond the central trio, family members, friends, and associates were drawn into the unfolding drama. Confrontations and reconciliations occurred off camera, creating a rich tapestry of interpersonal dynamics that reinforced the saga's depth. Loyalties were tested, alliances shifted, and public perception became a powerful force shaping both the narrative and the decisions of those involved. Insiders revealed that even minor interactions had the potential to create major ripples, with each choice affecting multiple relationships and altering the trajectory of the scandal. The psychological toll on Erica Mendeecees and Yandi continued to mount. Sleepless nights, emotional strain, and the relentless pressure of public scrutiny tested their resilience. Yet amidst the chaos, moments of raw human vulnerability emerged. Erica's tears, Mendeecees' hesitations, and Yandi's subtle gestures revealed the depth of their emotional struggles, providing viewers with a glimpse into the reality behind the spectacle. Fans were drawn to these moments, finding authenticity amidst the drama, and the story continued to resonate on both emotional and social levels. As the narrative progressed, further surprises emerged. New footage revealed interactions that suggested past decisions had far-reaching consequences, affecting not only the trio but also those around them. The emotional landscape became increasingly layered, with moments of tension, regret, and tentative reconciliation intertwined with strategy, perception, and public judgment. Fans and media alike remained captivated, ensuring that the story would continue to dominate conversation, speculation, and engagement. In the months that followed, the saga evolved into a multifaceted narrative, blending secrecy, accountability, emotion, and strategy. Erica, Mendeecees, and Yandi navigated the fallout, both personal and public, while the audience remained captivated by the unfolding drama. Every statement, every appearance, every interaction became a pivotal piece of the story, reinforcing the power of human emotion and the lasting impact of long-hidden truths. The saga had transcended traditional reality television, becoming a global phenomenon defined by complexity, unpredictability, and profound emotional resonance. Even as time passed, the reverberations of the scandal persisted. The public's fascination with Erika Mendeecees and Yandi ensured that the story remained alive, with anticipation for new developments, confrontations, and revelations never waning. The intertwined narratives of secrecy, accountability, and emotion created a drama that was compelling, unpredictable, and deeply human, proving that some truths, once revealed, can reshape lives, relationships, and public perception indefinitely. The story had become a cultural touchstone, a narrative that explored not just scandal but the emotional intricacies of human relationships, the consequences of secrecy, and the enduring quest for understanding and reconciliation. Erika Mendeecees and Yandi found themselves living in a world where every decision, every interaction, and every revelation had profound implications. The saga was far from over, with countless twists, emotional reckonings, and public responses still to come, ensuring that the drama would continue to captivate, provoke, and resonate with audiences around the globe. The unfolding drama had by now taken on a life of its own, evolving far beyond what anyone could have anticipated. The revelation that Mendeecees was the father of Erika's baby had shifted the narrative into uncharted territory, where private pain, public scrutiny, and emotional complexity collided in ways that captivated millions. Every day brought a new wave of speculation, leaks, and reactions, ensuring that the trio's lives remained under a microscope, their every word and gesture dissected by fans, commentators, and the media alike. The tension was relentless, with each passing moment layering additional pressure and complexity onto already fragile relationships. Erika, caught in the eye of the storm, navigated a labyrinth of emotions and public perception. Her daily life became a balancing act, a careful dance between transparency and privacy, between vulnerability and strength. Insiders reported that she devoted hours to reviewing footage, drafting statements, and anticipating every possible reaction. Every social media post, every interview, and every public appearance carried immense weight, and the emotional toll was evident. Yet despite exhaustion, Erika maintained a determined front, knowing that controlling her narrative was essential to maintaining credibility, protecting her child, and reclaiming some sense of agency in a story dominated by scrutiny. Mendeecees faced his own battles. The exposure of his paternity transformed his world, forcing him to reconcile past actions with present realities. Every interaction with Erika, every glance from Yandi, and every statement made publicly was subject to scrutiny, amplifying his stress and intensifying his need to navigate the situation with both caution and sincerity. Friends and family noted his inner turmoil, describing him as introspective, burdened, and at times conflicted, trying to make sense of a complex web of past decisions, public expectation, and personal responsibility. Yandi remained a stabilizing yet enigmatic force. Outwardly composed, she carefully orchestrated her responses, weighing the emotional, relational, and public implications of every move. Insiders noted that she was methodical in reviewing past events, analyzing motives, and preparing for moments of confrontation. Her presence, both subtle and commanding, shaped interactions between Erika and Mendeecees, guiding the narrative with a strategic influence that often went unnoticed by casual observers, but was crucial to the unfolding dynamics. The public remained intensely engaged. Social media erupted with reactions, interpretations, and debates. Hashtags proliferated, trending worldwide as fans, critics, and commentators dissected every nuance. Reaction videos multiplied, live streams analyzed facial expressions, tone, and body language, and forums were filled with speculative threads about what had happened, what was happening, and what might happen next. The narrative had become a living phenomenon, where the audience's engagement actively influenced the perception and trajectory of the scandal. Tensions reached a boiling point during another carefully orchestrated public appearance. Erika confronted Mendeecees, her voice carrying both intensity and vulnerability. "You let me carry this weight alone for years," she said, her eyes locked on him. "You made choices that affected my life, our child's life, and everyone around us. And you never stopped to consider the consequences." Mendeecees, visibly strained, responded, "I thought I was protecting you. Protecting Yandi, protecting myself, but I see now that my silence caused more pain than it prevented." Yandi's presence was firm, her voice precise. "Protection isn't secrecy. Protection isn't betrayal by omission. Accountability and transparency are what matter now." The audience, both live and online, reacted instantly. with discussions erupting across social media platforms and analysis flooding reaction channels. The complexity deepened with the release of additional private communications. Text messages, emails, and other documents revealed moments of tension, connection, and miscommunication that had been hidden from public view. These insights painted the relationships as intricate and multifaceted, with past decisions carrying long-term consequences that no one could have predicted. Fans and commentators alike debated motivations, analyzed behaviors, and speculated about future developments, turning the saga into a psychological and emotional puzzle that demanded ongoing attention and interpretation. As public and private narratives collided, the emotional toll on the trio intensified. Erika experienced moments of vulnerability and fatigue, often retreating in private to process the ongoing scrutiny and emotional burden. Mendeecees grappled with regret, guilt, and the need to rebuild trust while maintaining a public presence. Yandi, ever strategic, continued to evaluate every interaction, every statement, and every gesture, understanding that her choices could influence both the personal and public dimensions of the story. The drama escalated when a new insider provided context that reframed the narrative. They revealed that for years, private conversations and subtle interactions had been carefully managed to prevent exposure. But the cumulative effect of secrecy had created an environment of tension, suspicion, and emotional complexity. This revelation prompted fans to reassess previous interactions, analyze previously overlooked details, and speculate on the unseen dimensions of the trio's relationships. Social media exploded with renewed debates, theories, and discussions, keeping the story alive and intensifying the public fascination. Behind the scenes, emotional confrontations and reconciliations continued. Private discussions between Erika and Mendeecees were fraught with emotion, attempting to navigate accountability, regret, and the desire for understanding. Yandi maintained a vigilant yet composed presence, observing, analyzing, and preparing to respond when necessary. Insiders described the environment as high-stakes and emotionally charged, with every conversation, gesture, and silence carrying potential consequences for the ongoing narrative. The public spectacle reached new heights with the strategic release of footage showing intimate yet tense interactions. Moments of vulnerability, confrontation, and reconciliation provided viewers with unprecedented insight into the emotional landscape of the trio. The intensity of the drama, coupled with the nuanced portrayal of human emotion, captivated audiences and sustained engagement. Fans dissected each gesture, expression, and word, creating a cycle of speculation, commentary, and anticipation that ensured the story's continued prominence. As the weeks progressed, the story became increasingly layered, intertwining personal accountability, public perception, and complex emotional dynamics. Family members, friends, and associates were drawn deeper into the drama, their loyalties and perspectives scrutinized alongside those of the central trio. Every interaction, whether public or private, contributed to the evolving narrative, creating a web of relational tension, strategic maneuvering, and emotional intensity that kept audiences captivated and invested. The psychological and emotional impact on Erika Mendeecees and Yandi remained profound. Sleepless nights, emotional strain, and constant public scrutiny tested their resilience. Yet moments of raw vulnerability continued to emerge. These glimpses of authenticity resonated with viewers, providing a counterpoint to the spectacle and deepening engagement. Fans were drawn to the complex interplay of strategy, emotion, and accountability, sustaining the story's momentum and ensuring that every new development carried significant weight. Unexpected twists continued to shape the narrative. New footage revealed past decisions with unforeseen consequences, further complicating relationships and public perception. The intricate interplay of secrecy, revelation, and emotional complexity created a narrative that was compelling, unpredictable, and deeply human. Fans remained captivated, analyzing every development, anticipating future confrontations, and engaging in discussions that fueled the story's ongoing evolution. The saga ultimately demonstrated the profound power of revelation and human emotion. Secrets, once uncovered, had the capacity to reshape relationships, influence public perception, and challenge personal identities. Erika, Mendeecees, and Yandi navigated a landscape where every decision carried weight. Every interaction had implications, and every revelation could alter the course of their lives. The story's depth, complexity, and emotional resonance ensured that the drama remained compelling, captivating audiences and creating a lasting cultural phenomenon defined by both spectacle and human reality. Throughout this period, the public remained engaged, invested, and reactive. The trio's emotional journeys, public confrontations, and private reckonings created a continuous narrative that transcended traditional reality television. Every statement, every appearance, and every revelation contributed to a tapestry of drama, human emotion, and relational complexity. Fans, commentators, and insiders alike were drawn into the evolving story, ensuring that the saga of Erica Mendeecees and Yandi would remain a topic of fascination, debate, and engagement for months, if not years, to come. The combination of secrecy, accountability, emotion, and public scrutiny created an environment where the narrative could evolve in unexpected directions. Each new development added layers of intrigue, emotional resonance, and strategic calculation. The trio's lives, now inseparable from the public spectacle, demonstrated the enduring power of truth, perception, and human relationships in shaping narrative and sustaining engagement. The drama had become a cultural touchstone, a story that explored the complexities of trust, betrayal, and redemption, captivating audiences and leaving them eager for every next revelation, every next confrontation, and every next emotional reckoning. And now, as you've followed every twist, every revelation, and every heated confrontation in this saga, you're left with questions that demand answers. How will Erica navigate her relationship with Mendeecees now that the truth is finally out? Will Yandi find a path toward reconciliation or maintain her distance, guarding herself against further heartbreak? The emotional stakes are higher than ever, and the story is far from over. You, the viewer, have become part of this narrative, witnessing secrets unravel, loyalties tested, and the human capacity for both forgiveness and betrayal laid bare before the world. Your reactions, your discussions, and your opinions are part of the fabric that keeps this story alive and the conversation burning. Every moment you've seen has built toward an inevitable question: what happens next? The truth about paternity, the hidden communications, the unseen confrontations, all of it points to one undeniable reality. Human emotions are messy, unpredictable, and powerful. Erica's courage in facing years of uncertainty, Mendeecees' struggle with accountability, and Yandi's strategic presence in navigating this chaos remind us that even in the most publicized moments, private emotions define the real stakes. And now, it's your turn to weigh in. How do you interpret the actions of those involved? Who do you believe has been wronged the most? Who deserves empathy, and who must face the consequences of years of secrecy? Your perspective matters, because every like, every comment, and every share amplifies the discussion and shapes the ongoing narrative. You've watched the highs and lows, the confrontations that left fans shocked, and the moments of vulnerability that revealed raw human emotion. These are not just events. They are a mirror of the complexities of relationships, trust, and personal accountability. And now, we want to hear your voice. Jump into the comments section and let us know what you think will happen next. Will Erica and Mendeecees find a way forward together, or will the strain of public scrutiny and past decisions push them apart permanently? Can Yandi redefine her role in this story, asserting her truth while navigating the emotional fallout? Your insights, predictions, and reactions will become part of the ongoing dialogue, making this story even more dynamic and engaging. But don't stop there. If you've been captivated by the drama, the emotional roller coaster, and the shocking revelations, make sure to hit that like button. Your engagement tells us that you're invested in this story, that you care about the unfolding drama, and that you want to be part of every next chapter. Subscribing is more than just staying updated. It's joining a community of viewers who are as fascinated, outraged, and emotionally engaged as you are. You'll never miss a moment, never miss a twist, and never miss the opportunity to weigh in on moments that will be talked about for weeks, if not months, to come. Share this video with your friends and family, and watch as the discussion grows, ideas clash, and new theories emerge. This story is not just about Erica Mendeecees and Yandi. It's about all of us watching, reacting, and interpreting human behavior in real time. Every share expands the conversation, bringing in new perspectives, new reactions, and new engagement. When you share, you're participating in the unfolding drama, ensuring that the story continues to resonate, shock, and captivate a wider audience. And remember, this is only the beginning. The revelations you've seen are just the surface. Behind the cameras, in private conversations, and in unseen interactions, the story continues to evolve. New confrontations, fresh insights, and deeper emotional layers are waiting to be uncovered. Your continued engagement through likes, comments, subscriptions, and shares ensures that you're at the forefront of every development, part of a community that watches closely, debates fiercely, and reacts passionately to every next twist. So take a moment right now, like this video to show you're part of the discussion, comment with your thoughts and predictions, and subscribe so you never miss the unfolding drama. Share this video to invite others into the conversation, and watch as the story grows, evolves, and continues to shock the world. The truth about Erica Mendeecees and Yandi is out, but the next chapter is still unwritten, and your voice could shape how the world sees it. Don't just watch, engage, participate, and make your opinion heard. The drama is ongoing, and you are a crucial part of it. Fans are already weighing in, and the comment section is buzzing with theories, judgments, and emotional reactions. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. Let us know what you believe, who you sympathize with, and how you think this story will unfold. Will Erica's strength and resilience prevail? Will Mendeecees find redemption in the eyes of those who matter most? Can Yandi navigate the emotional fallout with strategy and integrity? Your insights matter, and your engagement helps shape the narrative as it continues to evolve. In this moment, as the truth has finally come to light, remember that stories like these resonate because they reflect the complexity of human relationships. They remind us that every choice has consequences, that secrecy can be corrosive, and that forgiveness, accountability, and honesty are essential, but often complicated elements of life. Your voice in the discussion adds depth, perspective, and energy to the ongoing drama. By liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing, you ensure that this story remains alive, dynamic, and emotionally compelling. So don't wait. Make your voice heard now. Hit like to show your engagement, comment to share your opinion, subscribe to stay part of the unfolding narrative, and share to invite others into the conversation. The story of Erica Mendeecees and Yandi is far from over, and your participation ensures you're part of every revelation, every confrontation, and every emotional twist. The drama continues, and you are an essential part of the journey. Your opinion, your reaction, and your engagement matter more than ever. So join in now and be part of the ongoing saga that has captivated the world.